Well, hello YouTube, it's me, Fordmaster, and welcome to something a little new. So today I'm going to be watching Glamrock Chica, the Pizzaplex's most tragic victim, by Not Real Name Not At All. So I have watched some of her stuff before. I only discovered her recently, but I have been liking some of the stuff she's been putting out. Mostly about I like character breakdowns and, all that sort of stuff. And obviously a fair amount of stuff about Fnaf. But I decided to watch this one because one, it's her newest upload. And two, I would have to say that Glamrock Chica is my favorite animatronic in, all of Security Breach. And yeah, saying that, I hate how she's not really butchered, but how she's just been kind of ignored character-wise. Because it's obvious, in the Security Breach games, that these are not just, animatronics that are being possessed by, the souls of dead children. These are, what I would say with some certainty, actual AI who are, alive. And while, of course, you spend the entirety of a Security Breach with Freddy, you see a lot of characterization in Montgomery, just by the fact his whole thing is, anger, he's anger management, given the fact his green room is absolutely destroyed. You meet Roxy and see her, pumping herself up, the sort of rock star who has absolutely no self-worth at all and requires, the adulation of others to, keep herself, all together, or else she metaphorically falls apart. And then you have Chica, the one who eats. Oh, and then there's also Sun and Moon / Eclipse, where they're basically the epitome of multiple personality disorder. But yeah, you kind of saw a little bit of characterization in Help Wanted 2, where she appears in one of in a couple of the mini games where I forgot what video I put it in. But there was one where I put a little montage of people turning around to fill up a soda dispenser, and she's peeking around a corner at you, going to press one of the buttons, and when you see her, she kind of pulls away really quickly. And of course, you can very much see the parallels to her, where you go around the Pizzaplex, and her thing is very much being activity, being fit and all that sort of stuff. And then when it comes to downtime, she's eating literal garbage. So yeah, there's more than a few parallels that could be, taken from that. But yeah, let's actually get into the video then, because I want to see what, Not At All has to say about Chica. So of course, as always, original video is linked in the description if you haven't seen it for some reason. Corner video will link to my Let's Play of the day. And if you like any of the stuff I put out, whether it's reactions or Let's Plays, I would very much like it if you subscribe to the channel. Just helps the channel grow. And I'd love it if I could try to break 2,000 subscribers by the end of, January. It'd be sort of a good first big milestone for the year. So with all that out of the way, let's get this thing started then, shall we?
If there is one thing consistent over the years, and with iterations of Fazbear Entertainment, the company behind 30 Fazbear's Pizza, it's their negligence. Their lack of care for their guests, their products, and their performing mascots.
Again, I'm very, very certain that if we had some sort of game or story going into the actual behind the scenes management, I would not be at all surprised to find out Fazbear Entertainment has some sort of money laundering scheme or something. So the fact that somehow they're still solvent after all these years, after being closed and restarted, and as I said before, their animatronics in Security Breach, I would not be surprised if they are legitimate AI. Any other company, I would imagine, would be screaming from the mountaintops that they had legitimately created AI, and all of the ways that could be a thing. But no, here you have Fazbear Entertainment, who's made what seems to be AI, and they're just using them as children performers, and they're not even that well taken care of. Also, wait, I just noticed, ignoring the cutoff section of the circle, is just me, or is this logo not symmetrical? I'm looking at the stars at the sides, and they seem to go into the outer circle at different blanks. That's going to be annoying me. Let's move on.
Over the years, the company collapsed and rebuilt and rebranded, but that
several
constant
times
stayed the same. Fazbear Entertainment is a company that cares about profit and nothing more. There's nothing human about it. Even in the luxurious mega Pizzaplex, an indoor amusement park / mall built to drain patrons' wallets dry, the standards of taking care of their work still rests at rock bottom, and this is plainly obvious in the way they treat their animatronic performers. In the past, animatronics have been left to mold and rust, dumped and poorly treated, despite the fact that they are haunted. And you can say that they didn't know they were haunted, but I think anyone with half a brain cell could tell that something's off with the bots. Even if they didn't, even if they believed the company jargon that the animatronics just got a little quirky at night, in the time of the Pizzaplex, things have majorly changed. The animatronics are artificial intelligence. They are able to have thoughts and feelings. By all accounts, they check off every mark for being sentient beings. Yet Fazbear Entertainment neglects them as well. Some are stuck in situations they cannot control. They are treated like tools instead of people. If Vanessa's dialogue is any indication, they could be replaced and scrapped on a whim. And most disturbing of all is their programming and conditioning. To replicate the cartoon characters they're supposed to be, the animatronics are conditioned to be like them, to have their major traits. But the problem is that Fazbear Entertainment takes it way too far. For example, the Glamrock animatronics, the primary band in the Pizzaplex, consisting of Glamrock Freddy, Chica, Montgomery Gator, and Roxanne Wolf. For example, Roxy is supposed to be cool, beautiful, fast, the best. Because of this, she has been given major insecurity issues to make sure she keeps up this image, constantly fixated on her appearance and devolving into tears and fits when even the slightest thing shakes her confidence.
Yeah, and that's ignoring the whole fact that you in Security Breach, you drive a go-kart into her face and steal her eyeballs. So yeah, you'd think that that's that would do something to somebody's confidence in themselves.
Monty's supposed to be laid back and cool, but he has severe anger issues.
Very much so,
They really botched Monty.
Yeah.
The issue here being that when you try to implant the characteristics of a relatively basic character into a sentient creature, you're bound for something much worse than flanderization. But of all the animatronics to suffer at the hands of Fazbear Entertainment's ignorance and ineptitude, Glamrock Chica is the one who has arguably suffered the most. Glamrock Chica is the newest iteration of classic Freddy and Friends character Chica the Chicken. She is the sweet one, in theory, the girly one, in practice, and her theming surrounds food and fitness. In reality, Chica has only one thing on her mind.
Food!
Like the original Chica the Chicken, Glamrock Chica 2 is a bird who likes to eat nom nom nom, though her appetite isn't quite as cute as displayed in cartoons and on marketing material.
No, definitely not.
As depicted in the games, messages within them, and contextual clues, Glamrock Chica has a fierce appetite and is often distracted by food, eating food meant for customers, stealing pizzas meant for delivery, going wild over and barging into places where she shouldn't go to get Monty Mystery Mix, a grotesque pizza-flavored beverage syrup that only she seems to like, and most upsetting, eating out of the garbage.
Literal,
Chica's garbage eating being what catches the most attention and concern.
And here's the whole thing. It's not like she can do anything with the food that she's eaten. We've seen the inside of these animatronics. They are, actual robots. You find, stat messages that they have to clean her out every day, and, messages to, the kitchen staff to make sure that their garbage compactor and, the fridges and stuff are all locked up tight so she doesn't get in.
Chica will chomp down on fresh trash, and in the Pizzaplex, there's plenty of it sitting around for her to find.
Yep.
She simply cannot help herself. We're not certain of how she behaves with the guests, though considering that she has no message complaining about her behavior, it's likely that she's at least passable with the guests. Though when we see her in Security Breach, she acts almost zombie-like. This, too, might also be possible, as guests might not necessarily complain about her being too out of it as long as they get their picture with her in the green room.
See, I always thought of her, acting, as she put it, zombie-like during the game, was very much, Like, she's not having to perform anymore. Like, and she's just searching now. Unlike, say, like, of course she calls out to Gregory like the others, but like all of them are very much, I always got the impression that none of them were in like show mode or like public facing mode while they're like scouring the Pizzaplex looking for Gregory. It always made me think of that they were like just like in basic like search and, I guess for lack of a better term, destroy mode basically.
Though as fixated on food as she is, when she's locked in her green room, she is shown to be practicing with her guitar, and she's quite good at it. Of course, her room too is
littered with pizza boxes
and empty pizza boxes, a sign of her vice. However, considering the fact that she willingly practices her guitar in her spare time, it seems like she enjoys playing it and likely performing. Of course, she might also just be bored, but she seems to be getting really into it.
Yeah.
When it comes to her bandmates, the only glimpse we see is in the beginning of Security Breach, where Freddy falls on stage and Chica runs up to him. This probably suggests that either she and Freddy are friends, or at least close. She has some bowling equipment stashed in her room too, so unless this is a prop purposefully put in here for advertising purposes, it might be a sign that she likes bowling, or perhaps used to bowl with Freddy and Bonnie. Chica has 2 attractions dedicated to her, though it's unclear how much she's involved with these 2. The first one is her cupcake shop, an automated bakery that serves desserts of all kinds. Staff bots man most of the equipment here, so it seems, so it's unlikely Chica is baking in here. Well, no, it is very unlikely that Chica is even capable of baking with her poor impulse control and...
Yeah, I would imagine that not even the stupidest of execs at Fazbear Entertainment would have her, literally doing the cooking.
The idea that she could hold that back long enough to handle fresh ingredients to any extent, even if partially automated, when she's more than willing to eat trash, I don't buy it. Unless...
Also, there's a little problem specifically, with flour and stuff like that. And flour dust is explosive. So you mix that with electronics that, in the state of slight disrepair that everything seems to look like, could cause a spark. I wouldn't want her grabbing like a cup of flour and eating it and then exploding.
Unless she's set up for a specific event and has handlers on call, I don't see this happening.
No, very much so, yeah.
We do see something rather concerning in the bakery and Security Breach, and it's not just the funky hoodie stashed in the bathroom. The place has been ransacked, the display broken, and some food tossed around, including what looks to be display food. Considering that this is before the Pizzaplex closed down and people were actively coming in on the daily, I would say that most likely Chica herself did this damage trying to get a late-night snack, and it simply hadn't been cleaned up yet.
Yeah.
Chica's other attraction is Mazercise, a cutesy fitness center with a really dark business strategy. Mazercise offers guilt-free eating by encouraging patrons to eat and work out at the same time, or back and forth in tandem.
Which, again, I'm not like a fitness guru or anything, but I know that doesn't work. Basically on the, with the whole, basic, fact that it's a lot easier to take calories in than to work them off. I think, God, what was it? Yeah, so, if you wanted to just burn off, 100 calories, you'd have to go for a 15-minute walk at the very least. And I'm just gonna ask everybody, watching this, how easy do you think it is to eat 100 calories? What is it? I have from Christmas. I have this, bag of gold chocolate coins that were in my stocking, and 10 coins, 10 of these coins is 40 grams, 40 grams of chocolate, but 10 coins is 210 calories. So, I'm not going to go in and count all of this, but I'm going to guess there's, a fair amount of calories just in this little thing. So, if I were to eat this entire bag in one sitting, I'd probably have to go for, an hour plus long walk. Probably 2, actually, just to burn this off.
They even serve food in the workout area, which would probably smell atrocious either way you look at it.
Yeah.
But in general, it's a very unhealthy way to look at fitness. Look, there's nothing wrong with wanting to stay fit. But
no,
the
exactly.
addition of trying to sell food, and specifically trying to sell both guilt and indulgence at the same time, makes this a poisonous atmosphere for anyone with body image issues or impulse problems.
As a side issue, like, I know there's the whole, like, thing that's like, oh, fat is beautiful and all that, and, like, I very much hate that. Like, I know I'm overweight. I'm overweight because I like to eat, not even just, like, unhealthy food. I like to, I like food, and I'm rather inactive. I'm not going to go around and say that this is, like, peak human fitness.
Such as Chica. There's also a maze that you can dump your kids into, but it's pretty small, and I could see many little kids, the assumed target audience, getting lost and scared.
Which, on top of the fact that that maze is specifically designed to change every hour, oh god, that would be absolutely terrifying.
It would have been a fun attraction for older kids and teens and adults if it was just bigger and not just a maze with 2 entrances and nothing to find inside.
Yeah.
But this is what we've got. Now, we don't know much about Glamrock Chica's relation to Mazercise. Unlike the cupcake shop, there's no evidence she's been scurrying around in here, and while it would be cool if Glamrock Chica was the one leading the aerobic exercises, there's no evidence that she is in the games. In fact, considering that animatronics are basically supposed to walk around and greet guests, it's more likely that she isn't. Unlike Freddy, Roxy, and Monty's attractions, which are different kinds of activities for fun, laser tag, go-karts, and mini-golf, games that you can play with other people and that you can have a fun time with, both of Chica's attractions are directly set around eating. Later on, this will become notably more disturbing. Finally, Glamrock Chica was given an upgrade to help her sing, a special voice box. However, it was defective and caused staff bots around her to glitch out. Needless to say, this voice box was neither fixed nor switched out.
Yeah.
Speaking of her voice, if I may pull you away from the character and into this meta aspect of the game, Glamrock Chica originally began life with a very different voice.
Oh, right, yeah, I remember. When did they find this out? It was like sometime last year or something. But they dug around in the files of the game and discovered that another set of voice lines for her. And she originally had like a Valley Girl accent, which I think I like her more just being like, bubbly and, nice, rather than the whole, California angle. I like Chica as she is now.
She had a Valley Girl accent, which would lead to an 80s mall rat characterization. Take a listen.
Gregory! Come out wherever you are. Let me take you to your parents. Who wants candy? I smell pizza.
For example, here's what it sounds like in the final game.
Gregory!
Yeah, I very much like this Chica better.
Wherever you are, let me take you to your parents. Who wants candy? I smell pizza.
Now, I've gone back and forth on this accent. I think it has a lot of character, and for the longest time, I thought it would have been the better voice, as Chica's voice and movements in Security Breach were, well,
off.
A lot of it initially comes off as pretty bland, and like it or hate it, that accent would have given a pretty big distinction and a statement towards her characterization. However, right now I think Glamrock Chica's current voice benefits her story more. Maybe bring back a similar voice for another character in the future.
Yeah.
Alright, now let's go over Chica's role in Security Breach. After Freddy takes a stage dive, Chica runs for him and we don't see her again until Gregory is crawling through the vents and peeks into her green room, where she is playing her guitar. Later, while Gregory's sneaking through the basement, he encounters her in a bathroom. He uses a distraction to get her away from the garbage she's munching, and sneaks by. But he doesn't get away for long. While continuing through the basement, Monty, Roxy, and finally Chica run out from the darkness and begin to chase and taunt him.
Lost boy over here.
Gregory escapes upstairs, but Chica is already snarfing trash. Somehow.
Snarfing.
And he must sneak by again. Only for her to appear in the lobby. Okay, yeah, this whole teleporting thing is really getting out of hand.
That was the thing. The animatronics in that game could move around. Well, I mean, I know the whole thing with like the previous games when you were sitting behind a desk and stuff like that. The whole thing with them is they seemingly, teleported around really quickly. But like, this was nuts.
I hope they patch this. Gregory avoids Chica and gets a pass into the daycare. While Chica does appear in the daycare after Sun brings down the banhammer, she doesn't have a significant appearance until and unless you take the loading dock route. During the route, Gregory heads through the basement and must avoid Chica in the fizzy fast vats and in the showers. But he also gets cornered by her in an office and must lure her away with a pizza made by an automated staff bot.
Oh god, I remember that. You remote controlled the staff bot, and once the pizza's done, he gets like stopped by her and it's absolutely destroyed. Oh, I feel so sorry for the little guy.
Pizza is finished. Chica rushes down into the kitchen and tackles the staff bot, after which she gorges on the pizza as Gregory sneaks by into the loading dock. When he can't get out there, he heads into the shower where, big shock, Chica is now prowling in there. Later, Gregory gets an opportunity to shatter either Chica or Monty. If you choose Chica, you will start by going to Fazbear Blast to win a Fazbear Blaster. Into the game, Chica arrives and begins to prowl, but by using the Fazbear Blaster, which stuns her, Gregory is able to win and escape. It is then that the mission begins to shatter Chica. Gregory heads up to Bonnie Bowl and finds the Monty mystery mix hidden in the back before heading down to the kitchen and setting up a trap, all while Chica is still wandering around. Upon setting up the trap, Chica comes staggering in, smelling the Monty mystery mix.
I smell pizza!
And goes to the trash compactor where she begins to gorge herself on garbage. Gregory presses the button, but the compactor stops on a metal bar left inside. Chica looks around before continuing to eat. Gregory pushes
absolutely
her
no
into the compactor,
self-preservation,
knocking
yeah.
the bar over in the process. Chica gets an angry look, and I bring this up because this is pretty much the most emotion we get from Chica in the entire game, and lunges at him with a shriek, only to be crushed in the compactor. However, Chica is not defeated. She grabs Gregory by the leg and he tries to kick her off, only for her to be smashed in the compactor again. She slides into the chute, dragging Gregory down with her. Now in the sewer, Gregory takes Chica's upgraded voice box and leaves to find a way back out. But he's not alone for long.
Nope, she's
Chica
back!
Gets back up, now as Shattered Chica, an extremely broken version of herself who can only shriek and broken noises. Weirdly enough, since she doesn't have a voice box anymore, so you'd think she couldn't make any noises. Well, anyway, almost all of her plating is cracked or missing. Her mouth is totally gone, as is her beak. Her eyes are loose and wobbly, likely from the second crushing of the compactor, and her head now freely spins all the way around. Like the other shattered animatronics, Shattered Chica's damage is focused primarily around her vice, her mouth, her hunger. She is broken because she is so consumed by her hunger that she isn't even willing to stop when the compactor is activated, as she's aware it's stopped by the pole and doesn't do anything except going back to eating. Now her mouth is taken from her, but as we will eventually see, the hunger is still ever present. On a side note, sometimes when someone feels sorry for a character or a person, they tend to place the blame on the other person. Gregory may have pressed the button to shatter Chica, but her accident is not on his hands. As a matter of fact, if she was hunting me like this, I would have done it too.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, I mean, it's a trash compactor. It's not the quickest thing. Like, even if it wasn't there by the pole, if she had seen it actively coming down on her, I think she would have gotten out of the way. It's only like after it built up pressure long enough from the pole and the pole being knocked loose that it came slamming down.
Let's recall all the times she dogged him up until now. She was relentless. And it wasn't until very recently that I had any attachment to Chica. Perfect stranger robot giving me a hard time, oh yeah, I would have totally done it. But there is someone to blame, and it's not Chica either. We're not sure how much of her behavior she can control. No, the blame falls on Vanny, Vanessa, Glitch Trap, or whatever they're calling him now, and Fazbear Entertainment. But mostly on Fazbear Entertainment, who not only let Chica get to the state, but who eagerly allowed Vanessa to get into the position she was in without any pushback, fire all of the security staff, and then let go all of the night staff. The smoking gun here is the note telling staff to not leave garbage in the compactor so Chica didn't get crushed.
That's what I was literally talking about before, yeah. Which also, just as like a side note, you'd think that they wouldn't leave, well, especially because like the compactor that we see in there is just like an open space in the kitchen. It's not like a hatch or anything like you would like traditionally see. So you'd think, just so that you don't get like the smell of rotting food and garbage in, you know, a kitchen, you'd think they would just, the last thing they do tonight, push it off into like wherever the garbage goes, like whatever bin it's supposed to go in, and then, you know, leave for the night with everything clean. I mean, that's basic, you know, etiquette in a kitchen, basically.
This was likely to happen, and they didn't do anything. They didn't even install a security cover on the button.
I didn't even think of that, yeah.
Stalking Gregory either. After chasing him out of the sewer, through tight tunnels of trash and underground parking garages, she follows him back into the Pizzaplex and will appear wandering around certain areas, and is even present in the Burn Trap boss fight if you go for that ending. Now, the next game to feature Chica was Ruin, but the next game in the timeline would be Help Wanted 2, which shows Chica's behavior before, during, and possibly after Security Breach. Glamrock Chica stars in 3 levels: Food Prep's Pizza Pizza Pizza, a Fizzy Faz level, and Food Prep's Fazbear Theater. In Food Prep's Pizza Pizza Pizza, you work in, well, Pizza Pizza Pizza, the pizza restaurant in the food court. You put together orders for the staff bots to deliver, but they don't get a chance to do that.
Because she just eats them.
Working in the corners and scrounging in the garbage, waiting for her pizza, and pouncing when the order's up, shoving the staff bots aside and gorging. She is concerningly aggressive, but surprisingly, when kept satiated and happy, Chica is chatty and sounds very close to the ideal of the sweet gal that's plastered up on the Pizzaplex's advertising.
What you making over there? Is that for me? Just a little nibble. Yum!
But it is hard to keep Chica satiated. She tears through each meal and demands more, to the point where, of the near dozen orders that arrive, none of them make it out to the customers.
No!
But if Chica's concerned, she's not showing it, and she quickly loses patience.
Do you want me to starve? I need to be fit! Don't make me wait any longer.
Lines from other levels also portray this, with Chica's voice becoming more rough and aggressive.
I'm starving! Out of my way! Back off! I'm starving!
It makes you wonder if Chica truly is two-faced, and if that's the case, which is the real one? Is Chica so swallowed up by her own need that she loses herself, her sweet, pleasant self, in it? Or are those sugary words just to get what she wants, and the hungrier she gets, the more the real her comes out?
Again, that's something I never even thought of. I know there's the whole saying of, you know, like, being hangry. And I always thought it was more like the first option where she's like being consumed more and more by the hunger, which again, she doesn't have a stomach. Well, maybe that's the problem, actually. Maybe if you installed like a pressure sensor inside and just filled it with like a bag of sand, just so she felt like she was full. Oh God, what would that do for her?
It's impossible to fit a line in between them and figure out which is the right one. At least it is currently. In the Fizzy Faz level, you are a worker concocting orders as you receive them. You are warned that dumping Fizzy Faz might attract unwanted pests. The unwanted pest being, in fact, Chica herself, who might start coming around getting in the way again. She can even be seen banging on the window and will barge in to attack if irritated enough. This Chica may look the same as in Pizza Pizza Pizza, but she's much less patient and much more feral. No more chatting and wandering around, slowly losing her temper.
She's already, yeah.
She's ready to snap. The final level is Food Prep's Fazbear Theater, and instead of Glamrock Chica, we have Shattering Chica. And instead of fulfilling orders for hungry guests, we are simply serving her and her alone. She demands large amounts of food that she doesn't even seem primed to eat, wandering around pacing and waiting until the order's up, all while Indos occasionally stroll in.
Yeah, and all she does is like shove them down the hole that is her face.
When serving Chica her meal, something strange happens, and this might be a mistake on my part, you know, the whole hearing thing. When you serve a meal, Shattering Chica slams the tray and slumps onto the other side of the counter. When she does this, the food flies off into the distance. But I swear I then hear what sounds like her eating. Is some of the order coming down with her, or is that the food splattering on the wall?
I'd say it more as, being splattered on the wall behind her.
Is she slamming the tray out of frustration, or is she accidentally launching the food from how desperate she is? It's hard to tell, and it's a sharp contrast and a scary reflection of earlier. We still don't know why she acts the way she does, but that facade of normalcy, the ability to ask for and gush over and throw a tantrum over not getting her food, it's gone. Chica really is just a zombie demanding food. But that's the end of her notable levels. I mean, she appears in other places, such as in the Standy and the Foxy ride, but these are her starring levels.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much Help Wanted too. And with that squared up, let's just get all of this out into the open. Let's discuss the Orville elephant in the room. Chica has an eating disorder.
Oh, very much so, yes.
Now, that is an umbrella term. An unhealthy obsession with food that disrupts one's life is an eating disorder, even without having another specific name attached. And you could call it a food addiction to soften it up, but the fact that there's so many insidious references to this makes the comparison unavoidable. Chica is built to encourage people to gorge and work out on the same venue. She cries out how she needs to be fit while begging to eat customers' orders. She's advertised with skinny foods and weight loss
skinny taco,
branding, eating and immediately working off the calories, working harder and harder so that you can eat all you want, guilt-free. A few concerning lines from Help Wanted 2 come up with her saying she's exhausted after eating. And while you can get tired after a big meal, it's also associated with these disorders as well, as the tiredness may come from a resulting spike in blood sugar.
Now I feel all logy.
All of this is extremely concerning, and even more concerning when you take into account what Fazbear Entertainment does to help or even fix Chica. Nothing.
Literally nothing. Next to literally nothing.
Not the piles of garbage all over the place. And continue encouraging her to stuff herself during daylight hours so kids can see and ask their parents for a Freddy head-shaped donut. Fazbear Entertainment profits off Chica's crippling addiction, and when they do notice it as a problem, it's always a money problem. Ugh, Chica's eating the stupid Monty Mystery Mix that just doesn't sell. Just shove it somewhere. Ugh, Chica's eating trash in front of the customers. Just move her away or something. There's no attempts to fix this. She's given the ability to eat, to feel hungry, to feel full. All these functions have to be controlled by sensors, and yet there's no attempt to fix it or tweak it at all.
No!
They don't even try when they created this. It's too much effort. Even if it wasn't, what's Chica good for if not eating? Both of her attractions are hands-off for the most part. She's built to greet guests and push them towards the food. And she's always hungry. And it's at the point where Chica is suffering. She may seem happy shoving down food and garbage, but people with addictions often think they're happy. But in the meantime, more and more of her is being swallowed up by this need to constantly eat. She's always hungry, always starving, and the feeling of being full doesn't last forever.
No.
Even though she doesn't need it to survive.
She's literally a robot.
It's worse when we see her final fate and ruin. Abandoned by the Pizzaplex, abandoned by Fazbear Entertainment, Chica has deteriorated into a ruined state. Now she's barely functioning.
And, what is that? Is that melted plastic or cheese? I'm fairly certain it's cheese.
And when she is forcibly jump-started, the only thing she can think of is to shovel the rotting food left behind into her broken mouth, shoving it down her gaped gullet, and then letting it fall out of her open stomach. Or at least, it does until she swallows an entire trash bag, which then proceeds to hang out of her and block up the rest.
Ugh.
Chica's existence is now nothing but her addiction, eating rotting food and searching for more, and briefly chasing Cassie, the girl we play as, before collapsing in a dirty bathroom. It is at that point where Oh god, I just realized she dies in a bathroom. I really hope that wasn't a nod to the eating disorder as well.
Oh god.
It is at this point where Cassie has a chance to replace her voice box. Cassie peels the sludge back from her face and puts it in, after which Chica rouses one last time and says,
"I smell pizza,"
and then collapses. And that is, as for now, and possibly forever, the end of Glamrock Chica. Even in her last moments, she is thinking of food, blissfully unaware of the horrors of her situation, or perhaps so trained to repeat phrases that she's unable to vocalize it. Either option, this is Chica's last moments, fading out broken and busted, surrounded and filled by trash, and still hungry. Hungry until the end. And this is all Fazbear Entertainment's doing. Don't forget that. And don't think the Pizzaplex closing will stop them from doing it again.
No.
Well, that's the end of our tragic tale. Will we see Glamrock Chica again? I almost hope so, because this is such a sad way to go. Maybe it's poetic enough that it should end like this. You are what you eat, and in the end, Chica was eating her weight in trash on the daily. But it feels so unfortunate. But there is a silver lining if you're one of the folks who believes the tales of the Pizzaplex books are, in fact, totally canon, because according to them, there's numerous Pizzaplexes, each one with its own Glamrock Chica, programmed in the same way, just as sweet, just as hungry, digging in the same trash cans, gorging themselves.
Is that really a good thing, though?
Dozens of them. The same thing can't happen to all of them, can it? Thank you for watching.
Oh, God. Okay, so the one thing that this makes me think of is I talked about it in a game theory reaction a while back. I forget which one, but it was my idea for like the next DLC for Security Breach, and basically you play as like the head technician, or at least somebody who has like some standing in Fazbear Entertainment, like who designed these animatronics, like the Glamrock animatronics. And my idea was that the reason why he'd been gone from the company for so long was because he designed the animatronics, he was given a lot of leeway and had a very good contract to the point that protected him from a lot of stuff from like the company's, stupidity and stuff like that. And because of that, some of the other higher ups than him didn't like how much autonomy he had. And basically, he was furloughed, which for those of you who don't know, furloughed is basically like, you're not fired, but we're basically not going to bring you to work or pay you for a bit, because usually the whole thing is there's a lack of work. So we're just going to put you off to the side until more work is there, that sort of thing. And my whole idea was that the whole thing with like the animatronics and their personalities, the reasons why they're so messed up, specifically like why all of their negative traits and stuff like that are cranked up to 11 basically, is because they're all running on like basically like version 1 of the operating system he designed, and Fazbear Entertainment never let him update it. The whole thing with the DLC would be like it comes in after Ruin at some point, and he's basically been brought back in to salvage as much tech from the Pizzaplex as they can. And throughout the game, you have to find like the remaining animatronics and bring them into like whatever truck or something to like fix and repair them, so that they're not wasted money or something like that. And through that, he gets the chance to install the upgraded operating system that they run on, and it might fix some of their quirks a little bit or something like that. And I was thinking like at the end of Ruin, there's only really 2 animatronics that we see that are somewhat functional. Like Montgomery was like drowned and short-circuited, so I don't know how much it would take a lot of work to get him working again. But then you have like Chica, where she is kind of like powered down in like a bathroom, which could be the whole thing. Like she's so like damaged and decrepit that her battery has just finally died without having the chance of going into another charging pod. And then you also have Roxy. So I almost imagined like he's fixing them up, and like you almost get sort of like almost like a father-daughter sort of bond between the 3 of them, sort of. I mean, I thought it would be really cute. Short of like making a game or like a mod for Sister Breach, like a total conversion mod myself or something, I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. I hope we get some more closure and some more characterization with these characters, because I very much like these iterations of like Freddy, Bonnie, all that sort of stuff. They have character, which in previous games they were always just monsters that, you know, tried to kill you. And granted, that's what they are here, but they have like actual, you know, personality to them. And I'd like, you know, more personality for Chica, and maybe like a good conclusion to her story where she's not literally sitting half broken in a bathroom surrounded by trash. But yeah, what are you gonna do? So yeah, as always, original video is linked in the description if you haven't seen it for some reason. Corner video will lead to my Let's Play today. And with all that out of the way, I hope you guys liked. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.